Welcome guys to a tutorial video on how to summon different types of monsters in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Using the game mechanics. Anyways, let's get right into it. Synchro Summon. To synchro summon a monster, you require a monster with tuner in its description, and you need another monster which does not have tuner in its description, known as a non-tuner monster. So you look at the level of Junk Synchron, which is level 3, Cobalt Hedgehog, which is level 2, you add them up, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Junk Warrior is a synchro monster because it is a card that is white, and it's also in the extra deck. Junk Warrior specifically requires a Junk Synchron tuner monster and one or more non-tuner monsters. So this is a synchro monster. Another example could be using Junk Synchron with the same Cobalt Hedgehog, making another synchro monster, which is Ally of Justice Catastor. Notice that it is level 5 because Junk Synchron and Cobalt Hedgehog levels equal to 5, so you can only make level 5 synchros in this case, which requires a tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters, so it's generic. Sometimes synchro monsters can be generic, but they require more synchro material, such as Dragon of the Ice Barrier Trishula, 1 tuner and 2 or more non-tuner monsters, which means you need to have at least 2 non-tuner monsters for this card to be synchro summoned. It is a level 9 synchro monster. Majestic Star Dragon, sometimes it requires really specific monsters in its synchro summon process. This card requires you to have a Majestic Dragon, Stardust Dragon, and 1 non-tuner monster. It does not say 1 or more, so that means it's specifically 1 non-tuner monster. Stardust Dragon is actually a level 8 synchro monster, and Majestic Dragon is a level 1 tuner monster, which means you need 1 non-tuner monster that is actually level 1, because Majestic Star Dragon is level 10. Accel Synchro Summoning. So Accel Synchro Summoning is just a fancy term the anime just produced, but it's nothing really special. It's basically just like a regular synchro summon, though it just requires you to have a synchro tuner monster as synchro material. Sometimes Accel Synchro could mean synchroing during your opponent's turn, because Forma Synchron has an effect where you can synchro summon during your opponent's turn using as a synchro material monster. Photon Pulse Dragon is a synchro tuner as well, same with Coral Dragon, synchro tuner. These guys, Pulse Dragon and Coral Dragon, doesn't have the effect where they can synchro summon in your opponent's turn, so I'm not sure if it's considered an Accel Synchro summon, but they are tuner synchro monsters indeed. Usually you would Accel Synchro into a monster that requires a synchro tuner monster, such as the Shooting Quasar Dragon. So this card has pretty specific requirements: 1 tuner synchro monsters and 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. So that's really specific for synchro monsters basically. It's considered to be the god of synchros because it has a pretty awesome effect. Level 12, 4000 attack, 4000 defense. Pretty good stuff. Synchro Climbing is basically making a synchro monster, then adding a tuner monster on top of it, and then making another synchro monster, such as the Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon. Requires a tuner monster and 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. So you just make a level 7 synchro monster, then just add on to another level 1 tuner monster or something of that variant, and then that is somewhat like a synchro climb. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, same thing, has non-tuner dark synchro monster, so that is a pretty specific requirement, but it's again synchro climbing. Double tuning synchro summoned. So double tuning requires you to have 2 tuner monsters, and then a specific requirements for Red Nova Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend, which is level 8 monster, and Red Nova is level 12 monster, so you need 2 tuner monsters whose levels is equal to 4, because 4 plus 8 is indeed 12. And this is Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant, requires 2 tuner monsters and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, which is level 10. So this card is also double tuning because it does require 2 tuner monsters. Not even synchro summoning. So there's 2 monsters in the game where you cannot synchro summon a synchro monster, which is pretty odd, but that's what they say. Ultimaya and this guy, the legendary god, they both have the effect where they cannot be synchro summoned. They must be special summoned by sending monsters from your side field whose level is, for Ultimaya, level 5 or higher, a tuner monster and a non-tuner monster, and they both have to be the same level. Same with legendary god here, but he requires a level 8 or higher tuner and non-tuner monster. So basically it's like a really weird synchro summon of the monster. It's not really treated as a synchro summon. It's just sending monsters from your side field and summoning it from the extra deck. Ultimaya and the legendary god.